nationwide. Nerve gas, shotguns, hand grenades, 50 cals. More calls now than Dr. Corsi's on with us for a couple segments with big updates on the providence of Obama. Where did Barry Soetoro really come from? I haven't gotten into the really big news yet on the economy, on the police state, science and technology, Middle East. It's all coming up in your phone calls first. Right now, let's go to Peter in Washington. Peter, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, Alex. I'd like to talk just briefly about the New World Order and Marxism.
Yes.
Now, Karl Marx talked about the higher stages of communism, which would involve the withering away of the state. He even talked about fishing in the morning and hunting in the afternoon you could do. Now, how would that be practical? Well, I think you supply the answer with your analysis of eugenics. That really Marxism does not require a government even, unlike fascism, and that this whole thing is consistent with Marxism alone.
No, that's it. Marxism, though, is not the final phase. You know, they say total government and then socialism, total communism, but that's just to bring in the new system, which is designed to kill almost everyone because it's a system created by the British royalty for eugenics to reduce population. And so absolutely, it is the post-industrial kill grid. And they sell lazy nobodies to be the exterminators in the first phase, then they're exterminated next. Then a bioweapon exterminates the last group. Go ahead.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. But you see, these people, as I see them, are, some of them are rip-off artists, but the more intellectual ones are really Marxists. And then they will be the only people. And that's consistent with what you talked about.
No, that's what they say. That's why the communists always get into eugenics, because they are eugenics. Look, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, it's all declassified, on record, created the Soviet Union and put Mao Zedong in power and told him kill, well, the Chinese say 84 million people. We say 64. But, I mean, this is what they do. If you look at what Mao did, it's what they're bringing in here.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, what do you make of them now just announcing 30,000 armed drones to just kill us whenever they want? I mean, this is out of control.
Part of this whole thing that you've described so well, better, I think, than anybody I've ever come across. And, the higher stages of communism is ultimately a betrayal. And it's more than just some financiers. These financiers are part of the system. They are required. You might even call them the devil's paymasters.
Yeah, well, that's in the Communist 10 Planks. They say central bankers. And it's a religion. That's why they always ban Christianity, because every top communist, if you study history, is actually a Luciferian devil worshiper. They're devil worshipers. What do you think devils create? They create this monstrosity, abortion, poverty, pain, everything ugly. It's unbelievable what's about to happen.
Well, best wishes, Alex, and I'm working on my own things too.
Yeah, you have a great voice. What are you, a radio guy?
No, but I was told that I did have a good voice. No, I'm actually a writer. I don't write on politics. I write on actually write on some mathematical theories.
Yeah, what you ought to do.
Type. I'm not a computational type. I'm more a theorist, just as Bertrand Russell was more of a theorist than a computationalist. But my theory, my ideas are not the same.
Well, we're going to try to start an audio blogging system at planetinfowars.com. It's in beta right now, having some hiccups. But folks like you should go with an interface and start, do a YouTube video. Don't wait. I mean, it's time to get your ideas out there, all of you. We'll be back.
When you're out on the road.
We're live, ladies and gentlemen. Liberty busting out of the gates like a wild bull to run down the globalists in the info war. It is Thursday, the 24th day of May, 2012. We were going to have Dr. Jerome Corsi of WorldNet Daily on, who's in Hawaii, hot on the trail, demanding that they release the records. And, of course, they keep releasing fake records. They keep getting exposed as releasing fake records. And we have Obama's publicist for 16 years, 9 months, saying he was born in Kenya. That info was supplied by Obama. That's who supplies it to the publicist. I've worked with publicists myself. That's just standard. He was supposed to be on. I've never heard him like this. He's like, I can't come on for 1 hour. I'm with, with the detectives. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. I'm going to have breaking news. I hope to be with you in an hour. I'm like, okay. So there was a bunch of stuff going on when we just talked to him. So, and he's with the head of the cold case posse, Zulo. So they're going to have some breaking news. I mean, he can bring him along with him if he wants, popping in at the start of the next hour. Right now, we're going to go back to your phone calls. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. If you just joined us, it's coming out that, of course, there's quotas nationwide to write more tickets and raise more money. There's also quotas to arrest people, 2,000 people every 2 days in Miami. And, I mean, I won't go now to New Braunfels, Texas. Beautiful. You can go tubing. But everybody goes down there, spends money in the town to go in the Comal River and others. And you get there, and you'll see, a young college woman going, woo, having fun. Cop says, get out of the water, you're drunk. And they don't even look like they're drunk. Take them to jail. I was pulling out of the parking lot once from going tubing, and I saw paddy wagons waiting for the people getting off their tubes, and they were going, you're drunk, you're drunk, you're drunk, you're drunk. But again, when we don't go to these places, our world just gets smaller. Oh, you won't fly? We'll just set up TSA checkpoints on the side of the street. Oh, you must take vaccines to go to college. We're just not going to let you go to college unless you take these shots, and then lie to you and say it's the law when it's not. All over the country, police are even taking as little as $500 out of wallets. When somebody opens their wallet to give them the driver's license, the police say, let me see that. They take your wallet and take the money out and say, you can challenge this, but if you do, I'm going to take you to jail. Chances are there's drug residue on these bills, because they know most of the time there is. It's been in circulation. And they just laugh at you. Or you got to bring cash to get your son out for his DWI. The woman brings it. This was in the news. And they take her cash, saying it's drug money. It's going criminal, okay? That's what tyranny is. And it's organized evil. Tyranny is organized evil. Running around wrapped in the flag of your nation. And here's Local 10 News. Police face criticism of reported arrest quota. Officers Union, Miami Beach brass order 2,000 arrests over holiday. Yeah, it's the union that orders everything. These unions run everything. That's why you go to New York and they huge potbelly cops smoking cigars, beating women up. I mean, it's like idiocracy or something. A reported arrest quota for Memorial Day weekend is causing anger and concern among community activists and union officers in Miami. God, the union always plays good cop, bad cop. So some of the police are doing the right thing and complaining to the union. Rumors of the quota, which allegedly calls for 2,000 people to be arrested over the holiday weekend, first came to light in an email complaint from an officers' union. In that email, the union called the quota aggressive, patently unfair, and unjust. So here I am blaming the union. They're actually saying don't do it. But then there's another article here where the union's actually saying it's okay. I don't know. It's all politics, but I tell you what. Police, you're going to be obsolete soon. Think about how much things have changed in just 5 years. In 8 years, the system plans to have most police work done by robot vans. They already have a bunch of states where robot cars are driving, where a robot cop actually walks up to your car. This is happening. All these little swords and wheeled vehicles you see, that's 30-year-old technology. Now, I told you the drones were coming to the skies, and people are like, oh, yeah, right. This is all planned. Robots on the ground. Japan's already actually got them controlling traffic in some test. And these things walk right up to you. This is so hellish. And they'll say, well, you know, the robot is programmed and it went ahead and tasered you because you were non-compliant. Look at this story out of My Fox. Florida teen has diploma withheld over the fact that he kneeled, that he knelt during the graduation ceremony. You see, they lie and say no religion in schools. That's because you can't have one state religion. You can't have the school say everyone must be a Buddhist, everyone must be a Catholic, everyone must be a Muslim if you go to this school. That's all separation of church of state is, and all that is a letter from Thomas Jefferson saying you can't have the government order you to follow, say, the Gaia religion as they're trying to do right now, which has nothing to do with the earth, is the way they package it. It's really an anti-human religion. So that's the type of police state developments here, and it goes on to say, diploma withheld, embarrassed publicly, in order to clean the gym over the fact that he knelt during the ceremony and thanked God. And they tell you, you have no free speech. I've seen cases in Texas where somebody brings a Bible in their bag and they take it and throw it in the trash and have the police arrest them. There's no law, but the cop does whatever they're told. And of course, later they're released. But we're not a free country like you think. You've got to admit this takeover's happened if we're going to reverse this. It's staggering to see this happen. A Florida teenager had his diploma withheld and was ordered to clean the school gym as punishment for Tebowing on stage during his graduation ceremony. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to me very, very carefully here. It was even his mother that thought it should happen because of her political correctness, believing that there's no free speech in a school. You can go in a school and say that you think Obama is a criminal and give evidence of it. Now, they can tell you don't talk during that period if everybody else can't talk. But you can't have a big political discussion in social studies, socialist studies. See how it's all hidden in plain view? Human resources, you're seen as a resource. See how it's all hiding in plain view like you're an idiot? They just normalize all this. She says you can be arrested if you talk bad about him. This is what's being taught. And all over the country, they have people that sue if anyone prays. I've seen lawsuits just in Texas, where I live, but I've seen them all over the country, where if a coach prays with his athletes or her athletes before or during halftime, it's said to be offensive and the game is forfeited or lawsuits are filed by the other team. In San Antonio a few months ago, they chanted USA because it's a military town. The other team was local as well. It is kind of a mindless chant. Anytime there's a police state thing happening, people chant USA. The point is, they said it was racist and banned saying USA. All over the country, you can't wear an American flag in schools because the illegal aliens find it offensive. Look that up. That's mainstream news. They're training you that there's no free speech, and the younger generation's being trained that their parents aren't in charge, that the state is in charge, and that vaccines are the law. And now they tell students, you've seen this in the news countless times around graduation. It's happening right now in the news. They say, do not, if you're the valedictorian or the salutatorian or the people that are speaking, or if you're having a guest speaker, even if a congressman is coming to speak. I saw a case of this, in Florida, same state as this is happening. I told them, do not say a prayer, do not thank God. And they're telling high school football players and basketball players, do not thank God at any award ceremonies. You could get up there and say, I want to thank my dad. I want to thank my mom. I want to thank my coach. I want to thank my grandfather. I want to thank my grandmother. I want to thank Jesus Christ. I want to thank Allah. I want to thank Buddha. I want to thank the Keebler elves. I want to thank, the Lucky Charms. I want to thank Willy Wonka. But this is outrageous. I've had TSA when I start telling them, hey, that lady, she's allowed to have 3 ounces. That's a 2 ounce. You shut your mouth, you're not going to fly. All right, well, you do whatever you got to, but I'm going to formally sue you. And you may even beat the rap. You're not going to beat the ride. Nationwide, nerve gas, shotguns, hand grenades, 50 cals. More calls now than Dr. Corsi's on with us for a couple segments with big updates on the providence of Obama. Where did Barry Soetoro really come from? I haven't gotten into the really big news yet on the economy, on the police state, science and technology, Middle East. It's all coming up in your phone calls first. Right now, let's go to Peter in Washington. Peter, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, Alex. I'd like to talk just briefly about the New World Order and Marxism.
Yes.
Now, Karl Marx talked about the higher stages of communism, which would involve the withering away of the state. He even talked about fishing in the morning and hunting in the afternoon you could do. Now, how would that be practical? Well, I think you supply the answer with your analysis of eugenics. That really Marxism does not require a government even, unlike fascism, and that this whole thing is consistent with Marxism.
We say 84 million people. We say 64. But, I mean, this is what they do. If you look at what Mao did, it's what they're bringing in here.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, what do you make of them now just announcing 30,000 armed drones to just kill us whenever they want? I mean, this is out of control.
Part of this whole thing that you've described so well, better I think than anybody I've ever come across, and the Marxism alone.
No, that's it. Marxism, though, is not the final phase. You know, they say total government and then socialism, total communism, but that's just to bring in the new system, which is designed to kill almost everyone because it's a system created by the British royalty for eugenics to reduce population. And so absolutely, it is the post-industrial kill grid. And they sell lazy nobodies to be the exterminators in the first phase, then they're exterminated next. Then a bioweapon exterminates the last group. Go ahead.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. But you see, these people, as I see them, are, some of them are rip-off artists, but the more intellectual ones are really Marxists. And then they will be the only people. And that's consistent with what you talked about.
No, that's what they say. That's why the communists always get into eugenics, because they are eugenics. Look, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, it's all declassified, on record, created the Soviet Union and put Mao Zedong in power and told him kill, the Chinese.